Hey everybody, and welcome to KQTUH. And for this segment, we're going to be doing something a little different. Normally I group up with Gamingnavi and Vyse, Dinah, Blade, Hakarvi, but recently we've been starting up a new little routine of ours. We love video games, but we also love movies, and there's literally no other movie subject that we study more or get involved with than Adam Sandler's material.
Yep. So we are every other week. We're going to be watching Adam Sandler movies, and we will be reviewing them for you.
Yes.
So this week we were watching the Waterboy.
And beforehand, we should probably talk about the ones we did before we started.
Yes, before we did this whole trend, we have done 8 Crazy Nights and The Wedding Singer.
So
and next week we will, next time will be Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Because we're going to alternate between good and bad movies of the week, and this is a movie we've heard mixed opinions on. So
yeah.
we watched Waterboy this week to establish an opinion on whether it was truly good or truly bad.
Yeah, because Waterboy at first Waterboy felt like one of those movies that, like, a lot of people say they don't like. I mean, I know you already said that, but it's just one of those situations that you actually have to watch it in order to understand in order to create your own opinions and understand it fully.
Yeah.
And I feel like watching this one, I've developed mine.
My parents kept telling me, like, hey, we heard from your father heard from, like, people at work that this is a good move, and they keep quoting it all the time. So that's what convinced my parents to watch it, and then eventually me, and I ended up buying my own copy because, good or bad, I enjoy these kinds of movies, especially Sandler, because even from his worst, I can get some great entertainment.
Yeah, and how else can I say it? And yes, we do realize that Adam Sandler movies have been a very common subject for a lot of other users, like for those who are reviewing his films and creating creating worst and best films lists. And we're clearly doing our own as well, but we like to switch it up a little bit. So,
So we're gonna alternate between good and bad films, so we can, get our good idea on him.
Yeah.
Is he as bad as everyone makes memes out about him, or is there more good to him than we give him credit for?
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Since the tropes in his movie have become such a common case in like a lot of his films, especially nowadays, they're so commonplace enough to the point where they should be categories in their own, like Adam Sandler categories. So, in order to make this an original podcast / best worst Sandler films list, we are including this little thing called the seven. I should introduce it this way. You know that saying where you make bad deeds in life and you go to hell?
The 7 deadly sins.
That's right. But there's a saying that, we pretty much made. If you make bad movies in life, then you go to a place called Adam Sandler hell.
And it's just Jack and Jill on nonstop loop.
I don't think Jack and Jill's the only one.
What's the main event?
But yes, in fact, we actually we gathered all of those tropes together that are so common in his movies. We decided to call them the 7 Circles of Sandler. Mm-hmm. And for those we have in order, what's more common, not really common, but bad.
What you'll typically find in his movies, from homophobia to celebrity cameos, cliched plots, lowbrow humor, punching down, stereotypes, and product placement. Because what's a Sandler movie without any product placement?
Or celebrity cameos and cliched plots. That seems to be another one of the most common ones in Sandler films.
The most common. So yeah, that is where we are with the 7 Sins of Sandler.
Yeah, we've done 8 Crazy Nights, our first bad movie, and then 2 weeks ago we did our first good one, Wedding Singer. And today, as Gamingnavi said, Waterboy.
Yep, the Waterboy.
Someone said Waterboy? Sorry guys, I'm late. I was just getting a glass of water.
You suck at your humor, you know that, right?
Hey, so does Sandler.
That's some good high-quality H2O.
Stop quoting the movie.
It's satire. It's satire. Now that's what you call satire.
Whoa, this looks cool. So this is Freedom Planet, right?
Yes, this is Freedom Planet.
Yeah, it's very...
I never played this game before, so it's,
so
it's cool.
It is, yeah, I will say
while
that.
we record, we're just putting something on for you guys to watch. Also, because if we just record the audio, we'd have to throw this into Vegas. It would be like 10 hours before it's done.
Yeah. But yeah, our focus is not really like the game. Like this is
That's
background and Gamingnavi playing. Like not the like he's
good.
I'm just.
I'll pass it off to someone else eventually.
But yeah, the point is we're having the game in the background just to have a little creative, something creative to have in the background while we talk about the Adam Sandler movies we saw.
Yep. So today was Waterboy.
All right. So yeah, let's talk about Waterboy.
So opinions, guys. What were your views on the Waterboy?
Well, sorry.
See, I was gonna say my opinions were, it like walks the fine. In my opinion, it walks like the fine line between being good and bad.
It does.
Yeah, I honestly,
I feel like it walks that line with pride. Like it knows it's neither of them.
It doesn't. It just feels in between. Like not so much leaning towards the former or the latter. It just feels right in the center of the two. Mm-hmm. Like my first impressions, a lot of people said it was bad. I mean, nostalgia critics, cinematic excrement, Robert Bacon, they didn't like it.
Yeah.
And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a, what was it?
A low score. That's all I remember.
No, I've got it on
They
here.
didn't think too highly of it.
It has a 35 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, not that good.
No, not that good.
But not that bad, because it could be a master of disguise.
Yeah, where you get 1% and have a little sense of enjoyable. But just because critical ratings say it's bad doesn't mean automatically make it's bad or you can't like it at all. But
yeah, no, that's why we watched it today, so we can determine whether by us three, what's the word I'm looking for, or amateur film reviewers, what our opinions are. Well, amateur film reviewers and game reviewers.
Well, yeah, amateur, but we're also taking it to different levels too with our own little original ideas.
Yes.
The seven Circles of Sandler is one way, and honestly, I think this concept too, like just having gameplay in the background, so
it just sticks with what we do.
Yeah, it does. So about the Waterboy, should we talk more about like impressions first, or should we move on to the sins the circles we found?
Let's start off with impressions. So yeah, because I already started off with my impressions of the movie.
Like
it walks the fine line. What about you, Quentin? What are your impressions of the movie?
Honestly, I was expecting the main issue to be Adam Sandler's annoying voice, since that seemed to be a common case in a lot of the movies I've seen, like 8 Crazy Nights, Jack and Jill, and Hotel Transylvania.
Little Nicky.
Really?
Little Nicky, yeah.
Except at least in Hotel Transylvania, his voice of Dracula was actually kind of good.
Yeah, it's just one of the voices where he has to change it to fit the character.
Yeah.
It's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
But my focus on the voice was completely taken off by all the white trash and Southern American stereotypes.
Yeah, there's a lot of it because it takes place in the bayous of fucking Louisiana. So
yeah, and here's the thing: I want to compare that little scenario to Forrest Gump. Wasn't Forrest Gump 1995?
I thought you Googled that during the movie.
I didn't.
You did. Well, we know this movie came out 20 years ago.
Yeah, in 1998, Waterboy. And Forrest Gump was... Well, I'm not just comparing the dates. Yep, 1994. So here's the difference between Forrest Gump and... the difference between Forrest Gump and the Waterboy. It's portrayal of...
It's portrayal of people who aren't exactly as with us as others are. Mentally challenged.
How else can I say people of lower IQ without offending anyone?
I really don't think there's any way.
Literally just say...
Well, we know what people we're talking about. Well, we don't want to offend anyone.
I mean, mental illness?
Well, we don't want to offend anyone,
that's really not something that offends people, though.
Well, the demographics, right? We're talking about the demographics.
Mental illness is exactly the term you want to use in that situation.
Well, regardless, the demographic it's targeted towards is portrayed differently in Forrest Gump in Waterboy than it is in Forrest Gump.
And in Forrest Gump, while Forrest still made fun of her, they at least treat his character with more respect. And Waterboy, they use it just so they can make fun of him as much as possible.
Well, not just him, but all the demographics we were just stapling are talking about.
Y to attack and X to do a spin thing.
Okay, just trying to get used to these.
Yeah. Okay. So back to
Waterboy. So we talked. Oh yeah, that kind of brings us. That does actually bring us to our 7 Circles of Sandler. So what did we?
So our 7 Circles of Sandler. So for celebrity cameos, we have it has the highest level of 3 because there were a lot of them and some of them were pretty shameless. Like
shit.
Like Farley. What was his name?
Chris Farley?
Chris Farley.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. I forgot to mention how we're ranking the 7 circles. So we're ranking them by level 1, 2, and 3. And they're graded that way based on either how much they're played into the film and how bad, well, I wouldn't say bad, but like how much they play part in the movie.
Yeah.
You kind of get what I mean? Like, take, for instance, the celebrity cameos. This movie, there were way too many.
Yeah, we had fucking, what was his name? I can't...
We had
Mel Brooks as a sports announcer. The king of comedy in this.
Yes. And then we had Chris Farley at the beginning.
Yeah, Chris Farley for like a scene. Another great comedian for just a scene.
That's on his resume now, folks.
As the wrestling announcer in Waterboy. Hope you're...
And Mr. Colonel Sanders was in it.
oh yeah, Colonel Sanders was in the movie just to be abused. What was odd though is that he did play into Sandler's next sin, product placement.
Yeah.
They had Colonel Sanders there, which our product placement level is level 2.
Yeah, well...
It wasn't... The only time it was outright mentioned was Gatorade, but there was lots of posters and stuff like everywhere.
In the final football scene.
In the final act, there's lots of posters like you expect.
To be fair, that is kind of thing you would see in college football stadiums and NFL
I mean, yeah,
stadiums.
but that's set up in a make believe world.
Yeah, it depends.
So
on
I just
how you
kind of
set it up.
expected, a bunch of fake product placements.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just really depends on the setup of the movie, and clearly for Adam Sandler / Happy Madison standard, it is common to have product placements.
Actually, this was not Happy Madison. This was Touchstone Pictures, remember?
Yes, that much I did remember. I was honestly surprised it wasn't a Happy Madison film. But then again, when was Happy Madison produced?
I don't know. But long story short, it was definitely different than what we expected.
Look at it this way: at least it wasn't.
And the only
at least it wasn't the Krispy Kreme thing from Power Rangers.
Let's not talk about that.
Nah, there are worse product placements than the Power Rangers.
Yes.
Really?
The fact that
we're talking about Adam Sandler. Remember?
Yeah. The fact that they had Colonel Sanders in there and he wasn't a KFC product placement, and the only real mention of product placement was Gatorade just to fuel Bobby Boucher's anger at one point.
Yeah.
It's really just kind of surprising for me. I expected, I'd be lying if I was saying I wasn't surprised that KFC wasn't mentioned at least once. Or any mention of fried chicken. You have Colonel Sanders in the movie. It's right there. I'm surprised they didn't take it.
No, he waits until 2 years to play his Little Nicky role to
That's Popeye's chicken, though.
Popeye's chicken, yes. Popeye's chicken was the center product placement for Little Nicky, but Sandler in real life immediately shifted over to KFC after the production. It's almost as if KFC didn't want it's almost as if Popeyes didn't want anything to do with the production. But we're not doing Little Nicky just yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, I feel like we should kind of move on to the other circles.
Sin will be
our next circle.
Cliched plot.
Yes.
It follows the traditional Sandler plots of quirky, to quote the nostalgic song, a quirky underdog, just doing, basically overcoming a bully. Except, unlike others, there's a love interest, but it's not like a pretty woman like Drew Barrymore, like how she's portrayed in lots of his other ones. Like, yeah, she's kind of attractive. Here, I don't know the actress'
It's average.
name.
Honestly, the love interest in this movie wasn't
surprising
unrealistically,
beyond
goddess beautiful. It was just a normal person.
Yeah.
No, she was more towards his level.
She looked more normal than what you'd expect from a Sandler plot.
Yeah.
And to add interesting commentary on that, she's insane. She's not like a good-hearted person. I mean, she is good. She is kind-hearted, but she's also just where's the word I'm looking for? She's insane. She's a criminal. She threatens to kill people.
Yeah, but...
and steal cars. Like, she's not your normal character.
But beneath that, she has good intentions, especially character development.
Yeah, like that time she showed Bobby Boucher her boobs and
gave him his first kiss and tongue.
Oh, well, all of them aside, but For me, honestly, Vicky Valancourt?
Yeah, Vicky
Vicky was the name.
Valancourt, there was some genuinely very heartfelt moments with her involving Bobby, to be honest. Like, she was actually supportive, and and she actually cared about him. It wasn't just like oh hey
And the progression of his mom was actually kind of nice.
Generic, yeah. Like when there was the selection test, the selection test and all that that Bobby was taking.
Yeah.
She popped up for the window and it was kind of like, good luck. Yeah,
Even
go for it, Bobby.
It was like, hey, you want me to kill anyone here?
Well, that's just lowbrow humor, though. But
actually, that was actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
But it's just like she's giving a thumbs up and good. It's legitimate, genuine supporting and cheering on. That's nice.
It is. I mean, it was great to see that, especially how controlling the mother character was at the beginning.
God.
Yeah. And the plot definitely got even more cliche at the end, where it just got a bit too predictable. Like, oh, here's the speech you could see coming at the end, where everything is okay, and now we got to get to the climax. That was a bit too much.
Too obvious.
To be fair, that cliche happens in a lot of different kinds of media.
I mean, yes, but in some other, but we gotta judge on how well it's done. And here, I really can't say it was done that well.
Yeah, because I actually have had a little thought about that towards the end of the movie. Like, you can take concepts or plot lines that have been done before, but even Nostalgia Critic pointed this out too. If it's something that's been done before, the rest depends on your execution and how you make it stand out, right? Like, is that how you explain it?
Yeah, that sounds good.
What matters is how you present it. But then there's another theory I had. There's making something original in your own way and and executing it to look really stupid in a way.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was something like that in The Waterboy, from what I saw.
And let's see, after the cliche plot, we have lowbrow humor. It is full to the brim with all kinds of
stereotypes.
No, that's lowbrow humur.
Oh.
It is full to the brim of all sorts of, hey, he's not mentally like us. Let's make fun of him and bully him.
That's another set.
We're Southerners. We live in a swamp and.
That's actually another circle called punching down.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of really dumb shit.
So here's how I categorized lowbrow humor. It's toilet humor. It's toilet humor, fart jokes, fart poop jokes, but it's also sex jokes too, or offensive humor.
There was toilet humor in this?
No, I'm talking about the whole circle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm trying to make all the circles universal.
I mean, if there's any quote unquote toilet humor, it would be the scene early in the beginning where Bobby meets his new coach and then sees the water that the boys drink. Is like, but you gotta let me be the water boy, so they don't have to drink that water. I'll do just as long they don't drink that water.
But yeah, there was definitely a lot of punching down, like especially for the traditional, quirky underdog. Quirky underdog keeps getting bullied, but this one kind of took it to new levels.
Yeah, and it took it to new levels by having everyone essentially be the bully.
Yes.
Because it wasn't just like, oh, hey, it's his old boss and, his old team. It's everyone except his mom and his girlfriend. And, his one friend. It's just that.
It's true.
Heck, even his mom punched down him at one point. Saying, oh, my boy ain't college material and you ain't got the social skills. It's like, he's your son. You gotta be more supportive of him.
Right?
I mean, if he's doing his... And yes, I understand why she was like that. It was to discourage him from leaving her, but
it doesn't really justify it.
You could have done this in any better way.
And it's not very justified. Yeah.
So, yeah, it was filled to the brim with lowbrow humor.
Yeah,
it's only at a level 2, so it's not as bad as it could be, but it's definitely sprinkled throughout with just enough lowbrow humor that we can't just overlook and be like, oh, it's there, but it's not that bad. Like, hey, we have to notify here and be like, it is kind of bad.
Yeah. So punching down and lowbrow humor were the two we just covered right now, and they're both level 2.
Yeah, because with punching down, as I stated, it's a lot of, hey, you're a southerner, redneck, hillbilly.
And that's stereotypes. Yeah, that's another circle in the list. And then it's stereotypes.
Punching down on them, and it is filled to the brim with stereotypes. Stereotypes is level 3 in this whole thing.
Yep.
It's just bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stereotypes are mainly towards Southern American. Why don't you switch over? I do kind of want to talk about this.
Because you actually chose a pretty bad stage to go on.
Well, yeah, plus I kind of want to get my opinions out without being too distracted as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. So stereotypes are not just racial, but they're also geared towards certain, jokes about certain ethnic groups, minorities, or region of people, but they're also sexist, like stereotypes regarding sex and gender. Well, sex.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the same thing. But
Sexism, yeah.
Yeah, just any form of stereotype towards a group of people. Yeah. And that was clearly all over the Waterboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and by the way, the stage reminds me of Skies of Arcadia.
It does kind of, but it's also derivative. No, I can't say that. That's a little harsh.
I was thinking of flying a fortress.
Well, no, where am I going? The
from
fire
Sonic
ship?
3.
Okay.
But, yeah, let's see. Waterboy. What else? What else? I feel like there was Rob Schneider.
Oh, Rob Schneider was... So everyone knows his iconic, you can do it! He does that 6 times in the movie, and 4 of them are in the same scene.
Yeah.
4 times in one scene, and then twice at the end.
You can do it! You can do it! Then at the end, he's like... Then
You
Bobby gets
can do
married
it.
to his girl, then she's like, just you and Short tonight. What happens tonight? And then Rob Schneider going, you can do it! You can
do it all
night!
No!
No!
You can do it all night.
It was just stupid. Rob Schneider, why?
Yeah.
Well, I think asking the question kind of answers it itself.
It's like asking Frank Miller just the crazy Frank Miller questions. The worst thing you can get is an answer.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, that also just defines some decisions of Sandler movies. It's
Yeah, and for those of you...
regrettably, the worst thing you can get is an answer as for why he does some of this shit.
Yeah, and for those of you who are watching who already have seen a lot of Adam Sandler's material, you probably already know that this isn't the only time Rob Schneider does this whole "you can do it" trope. He does
it in a few of the films.
Yeah, he does it in this film. He does it in Little Nicky.
Is he doing a Happy Gilmore? Does he even show up in Happy Gilmore?
He's not in Happy
Gilmore. He's not in Happy Gilmore?
No, he's not actually, which is
interesting.
Which might be why Happy Gilmore is a good movie.
Not entirely. I appreciate the joke, but that's actually not true. The game is legitimately actually good.
Game?
Movie. Sorry, I
know we're playing a
video game right now, and I'm kind of about the controls right now. You can tell because I suck at this game.
Yeah, we're just trying to do something original at the same time, though. Yeah, that's good. I'll give ourselves credit for that.
So,
our next thing would be homophobia.
Yeah, that's another circle.
I'd say it's touched upon like twice because there's a party scene with Sandler, and the girl asks him, if he's seeing anyone. He talks about how he's seeing a lot of guys and girls.
Oh yeah.
Which I know that's punching down because he's stupid. Because I almost said a bad thing. Well,
him not understanding the concept of saying see a lot of girls, a lot of guys. I don't really think that's punching down. That's just kind of more of a dumb joke. Like literally a dumb joke.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that they still had... But they could have just left it at I see a bunch of girls and left it at that, but they want the extra distance to go. They took the extra mile to go, hey, I see lots of guys too.
And then the girls react, oh, I'm
with one of them being grossed off, and the other one's like, "Hey, I'm into that."
Yeah, and then later on, towards the end of the movie, they have one of the bigger Southern stereotypes take his shirt off and touch his nipples inappropriately.
Oh yeah, that one. I forgot about that. Yeah, during the big game, their assistant coach takes off his shirt, and you can see him with his pierced nipples, which I don't want to think about, but I have to.
No, the movie's making us think about it.
He's rubbing them in front of everyone, and I'm just like, dude, put those away.
That's because the movie wants us to think about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were forced to see that. And additionally, when his girlfriend Vicky is assembling people to encourage him to go play football, there is the two guys in the cabin in the woods drinking martinis with their shirts off.
Yeah, so that's another that is actually another homophobia joke. So
yeah.
Well, we say homophobia because that's the title of the circle here.
Yeah. So
Holy
And
crap.
I will also post the 7 cycles on the bottom, followed by how we ranked them how we ranked the Waterboy.
and since we just went through the cycles, I'll announce them again and say what our final standings were. Celebrity cameos was level 3. Cliched plot was level 2. Lowbrow humor was level 2. Punching down was level 2. Homophobia was level 1. Stereotypes was level 3. And product placement was level 2.
Yeah, and that's literally the order of how we. That's literally how we order the 7 circles.
Mm-hmm. And now, we've just talked about a bunch of bad things. Let's talk about the good things. 'Cause yes, there were some good scenes in there. The final climax was good. I mean, we don't like the fact that we saw his nipples, but
no.
it was still good. There were some funny jokes along the way.
Yeah, and there were some heartwarming moments too, even within the cliched stuff, like the ending where the mother actually decides to let her son go
and tackles her douchebag of a husband.
I actually was very happy that happened.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it was like a comeuppance.
So there were good scenes in the movie. That's why I say it walks the fine line between being good and bad.
Now,
yeah, what do you have to say, Vyse?
Well, someone take this place.
Yeah.
So what I was gonna say about it, and I'm probably gonna say this. It's gonna need to say this during the positive part of the portion of the podcast, but there was like the guy said, there are some generally good moments. It's not a good movie, but it's not absolutely the worst movie ever that Sandler's ever done.
Not even close.
Yeah, there was some genuinely enjoyable moments. There was some, all the sins and all that, and there's some terrible stereotypes and the lowbrow and all that shit. But there was some the heartfelt moments. That most of those were kind of with Vicky Valancourt and Bobby and the coach and even the mom at near like the third act, because each movie has kind of like a third act, right?
Yeah.
And a turning point.
Yeah. See, also the almost the entire third act was enjoyable for the most part, except for the part at the end where the guy showed his nipples out of nowhere.
Yeah,
that was weird.
It wasn't just the nipples.
We are not gonna let the movie forget that we saw that.
Yeah.
You can do that charge thing on the ground, so like a spin dash.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
Yeah.
Like the big game and all that, it was played out. It was pretty cool. I mean, we got some decent dialogue from the villain, and then all the different characters and all that kind of the whole turning point and resolving and everything, but and we definitely know now that was an evil F, right, guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Watch with subtitles because some characters are hard to understand.
Yeah.
Well, so was Adam Sandler's character because of his obvious voice, which he was nominated a Razzie for that year.
Oh, really?
They also point out that the
Nice.
subtitles also make sure to get his stuttering all there. They could have just had it without the stuttering.
But they read off the stuttering.
Fuck.
Oof. Rip.
Die.
Shut
Shut up.
No.
I'm focusing more on the review here.
Yeah. So, okay. I feel like I was gonna say something out of that, but I lost it.
I'm
Sorry.
No. It's fine. It's fine. Just wasn't sure if it had to do with that particular topic.
So we're currently talking about the good things.
We are talking about the good things.
Yeah, I'm just saying that to help your train of thought. See if that triggers anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
I still like the premise though. Like, I mean, it's it's another run-of-the-mill sports movie, but just
it's
how
like
he's portrayed.
It's kind of like if Forrest Gump wanted to focus entirely on his football career.
Yeah, but also to focus on the stereotypes and kind of laugh at them too. But yeah, but we're talking about the good things now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh.
So
This is kind of
I really liked the heartwarming moments, honestly.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
even if they were cliched as hell, just the way they portrayed them, to have the mother character, I mean, even the Waterboy himself, when he decides he wants to go to college and everything, despite, being raised as a man-child.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually touching to see, And as someone who graduated college recently, I think that's just really cool.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And even how Vicky was very supportive of that, too.
Yeah.
So the movie's not all anti-intellectual.
Yeah. But we have to admit that there is enough of that in there.
There is plenty.
Yeah.
And that serves as the
Because
that serves into the
Bobby's
punching down
mother's
circle.
dialogue is... Most of Helena Boucher's dialogue is just, that's the devil, because it's not me, or it's not what... It's nothing that... Well, it's something that isn't involved with me. So
Yeah.
it's evil.
It's
So-
mean-spirited, and it fits perfectly into the punching down circle.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I don't think it really justifies... Like, when she eventually explains that, that this is all caused because her
Holy
husband was... because her husband left her, like... I get why she did that, but I can't say it really justified. I can't really say it was justified in the end.
It's like
That's
we can't.
true.
It's like we can't really justify how Davy Stone in 8 Crazy Nights has to be an asshole for 20 years.
Well, actually,
because of
remember we were
parents.
able to solely because, for the sole idea of maybe just
Yeah.
the town was mean spirited.
Yeah.
Like, let's point this out. We were able to come up with an idea to justify an 8 Crazy Nights issue.
As a matter of fact, I think
we
we
can't
should.
really justify Bobby's mother's actions here.
No, we can't. We actually can't for
Like we have,
Waterboy.
like they give us a reason and it's a reason that is understandable but not justifiable. If that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
Yeah, it's just not. You're right. I mean, it's not very justifiable. I mean, we're glad to see the turning point in the end for sure. Like,
Yeah.
she was like just seeing her genuinely supportive almost makes me forget the fact that she was so dismissive and ignorant.
Yeah.
And just all the bad things about her personality.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, if there's anything that made me forget about it, it was the end climax, because it was pretty good. Because, characters were all being assholes to him, and they're all failing, like, hey, remember when Bobby did this, and they're all just thinking about the good times before they were assholes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got its good, it's got its bad. So for me, it's a 50-50.
Yeah.
It's either you like it or you hate it. My parents like it. Apparently everyone at my dad's office likes it. Me, meh. No, it's not the greatest, but if I had to watch it again, I'd probably enjoy it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm honestly on the same ropes. I came into this room, to see the Waterboy with the expectation that it wasn't really going to be the best or the worst, based on everything I've been hearing. But for my side, I have ended up with the exact same impression as I did coming in.
Yeah.
It's not the best, it's not the worst. I see the good parts about it, and I have a group of people who say they like it, they don't like it. My dad's one of them. He likes it, so that's good.
So now you can come see your
So
opinion.
if you actually, your family's like watching it, and you actually are like there and watching with them, you wouldn't entirely not mind it. Yeah.
No, I mean if I saw
Yeah.
if I went to my dad's lake house and I saw him playing the Waterboy, I'd definitely join him.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because it has its merits.
It has
clearly.
its moments, yes.
Like all the stuff we were talking about up until now.
And they're good enough moments for me to basically go like, yeah, I'd suffer through the bad things again.
Yeah.
But it would definitely not be my first choice though.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
not the
Sandler
first
movies.
choice. So that's how far in between. That's how literally dead in the center between the two it feels.
Yeah.
Now, for my impression of the movie, now I'm kind of already influenced long ago. I just realized I was a panda girl. Anyways.
That's a guy.
Oh, guy? Okay, whatever. But anyways, I was saying, I saw this movie long before you guys did. I saw this movie with my dad when it was on TV and all that, and back then I wasn't too attuned with the issues and stuff, and I thought it was pretty funny, I guess. But now I know I appreciate it, kind of like oh hey yeah, this is good job by the way. I understand, now, all the bad things about this movie and all that, so I kind of have a different opinion of instead of what I had back then. But this movie, if I had to give it there's some good moments, there's some moments that are very questionable, and some bad ones. But at the same time, there's some enjoyable moments, though, with, the heartfelt times with the...
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to say, if I had to give this a rating out of 0 to 100, Now, I would probably give it a 65.
That's a fair score.
Yeah.
That's pretty fair.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
So we can give our individual ratings at the end. I think we should do that. Like 3 different ratings because it's a podcast of 3 collaboration of 3 people. So
Yeah.
Vyse is 65, and
I'm a 50-50.
Yeah, and I know I've talked about the whole 50-50 thing as well, but I feel more on the 63.
Okay. That's actually surprising. I'm surprised.
So since we still have some time, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Let's do a little brief thing on the opinions of Wedding Singer. Richard was not here for that.
I did watch that movie though, so I do.
So
know
yeah,
about
so you might be able, so you can still participate in this conversation. So
Yes.
So we're doing
we did Wedding Singer the week before.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So opinions. It is definitely a good movie. I mean, that's a given. We watched it on our Good Sandler movie night.
Some seriously good sprite work.
Let's see. There's definitely a lot of lines from Wedding Singer I love and will quote, like the scene with, I can't remember his name, but it's the scene with the guy behind the curtain. He's like, he's losing his mind.
And I'm going to reap all the benefits.
And he just
That
like
was
he just like creepily hides behind the curtain. It's just, he's losing it. It's just like this. He's smiling like he knows what he's doing.
That was
Pure genius.
That was so well played. I mean, I remember us laughing at that, and I think that should be considered one of John Lovitz's best moments in
and
film.
there's other great lines from Sandler, like, "Hey, these are things that should have been brought to my attention yesterday," or his first wedding back, his first job back, and he's like, "Hey, I have the microphone, you don't, so you will listen to every damn thing I say." There's a lot which I plan on using like conversations in the future. Like,
I actually
if I'm
used
interrupted
the
in a
first one.
presentation, I will use that a lot.
I actually used the first one in a few conversations where it was, well, not like shouting it, but like this could have been better if it was brought to my attention yesterday.
And of course, additionally, the final climax of it.
That's what she said.
Sucker blossoms. That's cool. Sorry.
The final climax of Wedding Singer was just beautiful. Was just amazingly planned out with like them being on the same plane, Billy Idol being in first class with him, and just
Yeah, that was such a heartwarming moment too.
and Sandler coming up with a new unique song to charm Barrymore. It was a very heartfelt ending.
Yeah, not just for Sandler's character too. This was actually a big moment for Adam Sandler with that song.
I don't want to say it's a perfect film, but we should be criticizing right now. I really have nothing bad to say about it.
Neither do I, man. I mean, it takes all the cliches. It feels like it takes all the cliches in the world, and it actually executes it to amazing standards.
Now, I don't know if you guys are gonna be surprised by this, but are we doing the rating yet, or
no, because we haven't gotten to the sins yet.
Shit,
Let's start off with
okay.
I'm going to start off with our worst sin, cliched plot, because it is every Sandler movie. It is a quirky underdog meeting a hot, attractive babe,
and with the bully villain. Yeah,
there's the grandma and the best friends who help him. There's stupid voices, there's stupid jokes.
And yes, we're quoting Nostalgia Critic.
Yes, but you know what? It was just done in a really nice way. There's a way cliches can be done good, and Sandler found a way with Wedding Singer.
He sure as hell did.
See, everything else we have is literally, we only have 4 sins for this. And that's homophobia at rank 1 because there's a character Gene, I think that was his name.
Yeah.
And I think there might have been like one other, but I can't remember what it was. There was the one guy who fell for Gene thinking he was a woman.
Oh yeah.
That was that
amounts to grade 1.
We have
level
punching
1.
down at level 1, which was just mildly dashed everywhere, so it wasn't that bad. And then we have lowbrow humor at level 2. It's honestly not that bad a film. I mean, okay, I just said lowbrow humor level 2, but
it is one of my favorite Adam Sandler films. To be
definitely
honest.
here.
Oh,
we'll definitely
yeah.
say here.
I do have a few of them, but this is one of them in the ranks.
Mm-hmm. It's got one of the things Sandler does best: singing. It's got a good plot, good characters and stuff.
Like even if it is cliched, yeah. It's
cliches
amazing.
Can be people can criticize cliches all you want, but when they're done well, they can be enjoyable.
That is something I've been wanting to say about that kind of thing. Actually, you took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, no, like that's something I say with hey, whenever I hear someone mention cliche, because it's cliche, I have to stop them and clarify, like, hey, you may hate it because it's cliche, but is the cliche done well?
See, that's the thing. That when I definitely know people that bash on things because they're cliche. Well, when you really think about it, isn't kind of everything kind of cliche sometimes?
If you
think about it.
If you hold right or left and press X, you'll just spin dash like on the ground and go off the slopes and stuff.
But yeah,
you might need a bit of a running start with that one.
Yeah, but anyway, back to...
Yeah, what I was saying is that, to be fair, doesn't everything kind of have cliches nowadays?
Yeah, not very little things are original nowadays.
Yeah.
But it's all dependent on execution.
That's also the product of just so many things that come out over so many years in every single kind of media. You're going to get to a point where it gets a little bit more difficult to come up with something completely original.
Yeah, but see, like I said earlier, it's all dependent on the execution, no matter how simple or how many times the premise has been done before. But you can also take something original and execute to a point where it just comes out as really stupid.
True.
The movie also had a really good antagonist. Can't fucking remember his name. Let me see if it's on the back of the box.
And you say it's your favorite Adam Sandler.
No, not Robbie.
Just kidding.
Robbie Schneider. I'm sorry, I had to go for that.
I'm trying to figure out what his name is, but it's not on the back of here. But so point is apparently, but he was a great antagonist because he was just absolutely despicable. He gave us a reason to hate him because it wasn't just hey generic bad guy here. It was like he was just that disgusting. We got a reason to hate him outside of hey he's obvious bad guy. Yeah. It was hey he's rude.
He's a jackass.
Yeah. He doesn't appreciate the woman he loves. He doesn't truly love her. He's just doing it because, hey, possession. I'm filthy. I have sex with women all the time, even while I'm dating and engaged.
He's a scumbag. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's selfish too.
He gave us a bigger reason to hate him, outside of because I'm the antagonist.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that just makes Weddings like a must-see movie, in my opinion.
Gosh.
It is such a must-see movie.
And then we've already spoken to death about 8 Crazy Nights.
We have, but I feel like we need to do that in a separate podcast, though, because that could be a whole video in itself.
We will do, whether we watch it again or we just dedicate another podcast to it.
I think we should dedicate another podcast to it. I mean, I gotta stop saying but this is a movie. There's literally no other movie I've ever had. I don't think we've ever had to dig so much into, see so many reviews of, etc., than 8 Crazy Nights.
Oh.
And believe it or not, folks, I actually had to watch it last night because I counted all the product placements.
Yep, because he's still working on his script for your top 10 worst Sandler films.
Yep.
Yeah, but I still feel like we should make the podcast, but like by itself.
Mm-hmm. So that was.
Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up.
That wraps up this little quote unquote podcast because we're not releasing this on the iTunes store and shit. You just have to watch it via YouTube.
No, this is just our collection of thoughts while having a nice game in the background.
Yep. Yes.
But next time we're gonna have a game that's more fitting to the.
Next week we'll go back to Puyo Puyo. Then after that we're watching Happy Gilmore, everyone.
Yep.
So. And then after that, our bad movie would be Little Nicky, and then we're in Freshwater. We don't know what we're doing, so you guys can go comment what good and bad Sandler movies you want to suggest for us to watch.
Punch Drunk Love.
Whichever ones we have access to. Yes.
Oh. I was gonna bring my DVD/Blu-ray of Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, that is for next time.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like once we do Little Nicky, we're in Freshwater. We don't know what we're planning after that point.
Also, Little Nicky's no longer on Amazon Prime.
Oh, you fucking kidding me? So maybe it'll be after Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Who knows? I still want to watch Pixels after that.
Or Pixels could be an option if we can't get Little Nicky.
I'd argue Pixels is a good movie. We'll wait till that.
Yeah, we'll just share our opinions on Pixels then, as well as Little Nicky. But I think,
All right.
In the meantime, that was Waterboy and a brief podcast conversation review of Wedding Singer.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So I'll see you guys next week for a continuation of Madonna Monogatari, or maybe a Puyo Puyo game. Who knows?
And now, thanks to you guys, I now want to try out Get Freedom Planet for my Switch.
Yes.
All right.
Great game for Sonic games. Okay, so we'll see you all next time. See you later.